Hi, my name is Sabina, and today I will take you through the 5 key points in investing in real estate. Either it's your first time investing or you're an experienced investor, it's important to know who you work with and to make sure that the agent that you choose understands the potential of a property and the financials of it. It's important to remember that when you buy a home, it's usually based on emotions, but for investment property, it has to be about the numbers and if those numbers actually make sense to you or not. The 5 things that you need to know about real estate are the cap rate, zoning, best use that you're going to do for the property, financials of a property, and how you're going to finance the deal. Now let's get into it and let's talk about the cap rate. There are many metrics that can be used to identify a property, but the most common one is cap rate that investors use, and it's basically, the formula goes like this: it's the gross income of a property minus all the expenses divided by the price or valuation of a property. Not all cap rates will be the same for all the properties or even all neighborhoods. For example, in Center City, Philadelphia, where the neighborhood's already more established, like Rittenhouse, Fiddler Square, Twin Village, the buyers may accept a lower cap rate because it's less risk for investment. But in the neighborhoods that are farther away from the center city, they may require a higher cap rate. If you're looking to buy a single-family home and rent it out, that's great. You don't have to do anything to it, right? Like, it's not, you don't have to change the zoning, you don't have to do anything. But if you're looking at the bigger, let's say a warehouse, and you're debating what to do, apartment building or a parking lot, well, that's going to depend on what kind of zoning is on the property. And a lot of things that you have to keep in mind is, like, some corridors will allow commercial and some will be strictly residential. So it's very important to keep in mind and check what's the zoning of a property. Which brings us into the best use of a property, right? So you will base it on the zoning, but also let's say you want to buy a big lot and then build on it. You have to think what you're gonna do. Will you build apartments, or will you divide it into lots, and how big are the lots to have the best return of your investment? Does it make to have 5 huge mansions and sell them for $2 million, or make them smaller and then sell them for less, but would actually bring you even more money than that? You never know. So you have to make the math and see what's the best return based on the size, zoning, how big you can go, and take it from there. If you're looking to invest in a multi-unit property, you definitely want to understand the financial analysis of it, including the rent roll and the expenses. And there are different things, right? Like, you can buy a brand new building that doesn't require any work and also has maybe a 10-year tax abatement, or you're buying an older property that the rent roll can be increased by just repairing the units a little bit. So you have to keep all that in account for how much money you're gonna have to put out. The same thing goes for flips. If you buy a house that needs to be flipped, you have to see how much money you're gonna put in, what are the comps in the area for a renovated house, to see if you're gonna make it out good or you're just gonna be at zero, which obviously in that case is not a good investment for you. And the last thing to keep in mind is financing a property is not the same as buying a primary. Residential lending and commercial lending are 2 different things, and if it's just a single standalone home and you're just doing a conventional investment, that's fine, it's going to be easier. But if you're buying a big property, let's say 50 units, that's going to be a different game completely. It's going to require more documents. The lender has to look at all the leases. You're going to have to put more money down. Like, so for investments, you're not going to see the 3 and 5% down. For conventional or commercial investments, you will see 20, 25, 30 and up, depending on what property it is. So be ready, talk to your lenders, speak to commercial lenders because they'll have more knowledge in this specific field. Or if you need recommendations, talk to an agent, me, and I can direct you to someone. I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions or now you're intrigued into looking into investing in properties, please reach out. I'll be happy to help you.